Hi everyone, I'm back. Oh, you want this one. You want that one. Of course you do. So hi, I'm back. So a couple of things. I'm struggling to upload to Rumble. To upload the reading that just went up on Rumble, I think I lost count of how many times after like six times I tried to upload that to Rumble. I don't know what the deal is. Oh, you don't want love, you want that bone. You want this? Is that what you want? I guess you can have it, buddy. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but I have just been really struggling to upload to Rumble. It just keeps bouncing it back, saying upload failed, upload failed, upload failed. It's constant. So if sometimes, you know how sometimes a video, I couldn't put it on YouTube for a while? That's it, bud. They're all gone. They're all gone, buddy. I couldn't put it on YouTube, but I could put it on Rumble. Because YouTube was kind of spanking me and I was getting in trouble for things. Well, it may end up being that sometimes the videos just don't make it to Rumble because of the failure to upload. So just check YouTube. I'll try to get them up on one or the other platform, however that may work out. I'm not sure. We'll just keep projecting that this little error stops and uploads happen easily again on Rumble. So now let's just talk about the unsubscribed problem. So that's on both platforms. That's on the Rumble channel and that's on the YouTube channel, where people are telling me that they can't find me anymore, and then they have to do a search, and then they find me and they find that they've been unsubscribed or unfollowed. I don't know why these platforms do that, but they do that. And I just, it's out of my control. But I haven't been on a lot lately. As you know, I've had a difficult summer. But if it works out that you're not seeing videos at all, that's probably what's happened. So go in and just search it and see if you can find me, and then just resubscribe and refollow, or however, I don't know why these platforms do these things. I have no idea what the issue is. I really don't. But they play with numbers. They hold the numbers back. It's just weird. It's very weird. So anyway, that's that. That's the housekeeping for the channels. And now, you guys, the healing intentions are always up for you folks. Always, always, always. So if you so choose, stand in your power. Decree that for your highest and greatest good. Only and always. All right. So next on housekeeping is... So as of last winter, I think it was last winter, I was having a lot of issues on Rumble with fake, somebody had like cloned my account or whatever, and they were pretending to be me, and they were telling people to follow an email or follow a link for further insights or whatever it was that they were saying. And it just obviously wasn't me. Don't follow any of that stuff. Like if somebody's on either one of these channels saying for further insights or whatever it is that they're saying, and they're pretending to be me, and they're saying follow this link or follow this email, absolutely don't do it. Don't do it. It's not me. It's scammers. It's really sad that we live in a world where people have nothing better to do other than try to take advantage of people. It's frustrating and aggravating, but be aware of scammers and do not follow any links or emails or any other stupid stuff that they could put in there, any type of commercial, or no matter what it is. If it's in my channels, in my comments, and it's pretending to be me soliciting you for anything, don't do it. It's scammers. It's scammers. And so since I've been saying this at the beginning of the videos, I've noticed that that's not happening over there on Rumble. So I'm going to just keep saying it because it discourages them right off the bat, right? So they see that my video's already saying don't follow these jokers. So I'm just going to keep doing that. All right, so now that all of that has been said, I hope that you're all doing well and enjoying the last pieces of summer, or depending on where you are in the world, whatever season you're enjoying. We're coming into fall, so many of you are probably coming into spring. But I hope that you're enjoying your season. So let's see where to start. A friend of mine is just so curious, and I told her I have pulled a muscle. Pretty good too. I pulled it pretty good. So I'm resting today, and I'm going to take advantage of that because life is crazy for me on a regular basis, between the animals, the house, the family, work, the yard, getting ready for winter. Here in Maine, we usually have like 2 seasons. We're getting ready for winter, and then we're dealing with winter. So I've been in that whole getting ready for winter thing, which is quite a lot of work. So yeah, my life is just really busy, and today I'm not able to do much. So I'm going to take advantage of that, and I'm probably going to record 2 or 3 videos anyways for you folks, and get them uploaded over the course of the next few days, just so that you'll have them, because I know I haven't been on much, and today's one of those days where I can't do my chores. I can't do anything, and I hadn't scheduled appointments for today because I had planned on a big project that I'm not able to do now. So it is what it is, I guess. So I'll probably just record several videos today for you folks, because I know there's a lot of questions. So one of my friends really wanted me to check into this quite a long time ago, and I just haven't had the time. So apparently, and I just want to make the statement to cover my ass here. All of this stuff is opinions. It's my humble opinion. It's for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so just opinions, right? So she has done some delving, and she has found that, and I'm going to speak in code so that this can go on both my channels on YouTube. Rumble, I don't have to speak in code, but I do have to do that for YouTube. So there's somebody called T. Hanks. Okay, you guys. And it's been the opinion of many that he's not a good person, not a good guy. I have to speak carefully. So then, he's played in many things. He's played many roles. He's not looking like himself, and hasn't for a while. Okay, you guys. So apparently he is related to somebody who everybody would refer to as Mr. and then Rogers. So there's a relation there. And because both of them had such a wholesome type look to the public, this friend of mine is wondering if the guy that we would call Mr. and then Rogers is a scumbag. She wants to know if his persona to the world was just that, just a big show. And if behind the scenes, just like a lot of these elites, the things that he was up to, and the things that he was supporting and taking part of were nefarious. So that's what we're going to ask the cards right now. We want a true story about the person who had their own TV show, who was called Mr. and then Rogers. All right, you guys. So please and thank you. A true story there. Give us a true story about this guy's true nature, his true, who he truly was. All right. So let's see what we get here. Well, we've got the High Priestess, so we're already being shown that there were two sides to this person, that she can be very tricky, okay? So there's already two sides to this person. I feel like those might be in the way. Wow. All right, so the energy that drives that drives this reading is like, oh, he was like the shining light, a guide, somebody respected, somebody who was supposed to be very loving, very high vibing, right? Somebody who had that persona of moving families into a love space, out of that troubled water, emotionally caring, emotionally healing, right? Like he truly cared for families and truly cared for children. And, won't you be my neighbor? Like I'm the older person that will give you love and give you support and give you lots of stuff that you are needing. So that was the energy. That's the energy, that's the pathway to this person's worldview, like what you would see him as. That's the pathway that has led us to this question. Now, show us what he really was. Show us a true story about him, right? So we get the High Priestess, and she sits there in the balance of the light and the dark, right? So there's two sides to this person. There's a side that you knew and that you saw, and another side that was a little darker that you didn't see. However, above that, there is going to be some information that does come up from the surface surrounding this person. So it's going to be something that eventually you will hear in the news, the headlines. Swords are all about words, thoughts, ego, technology. They move fast when they move. And again, here, it's like his words, the thoughts, the things that came out of him looked like he was very caring and really wanted every family to be moved into smoother sailing and clearer waters, and so that's what was. And the persona is, I'm like a big brother, I give love with these cups, right? Emotional healing with these cups. But across from him, he's got a couple witchy cards, okay? This being one of them, and this being another, all right? So across from him, there's the energy is like, moves really fast. Like, I don't know if he is another person who came to fame in a mad hurry, like was placed all of a sudden. This guy comes out of nowhere and he's got this huge audience, like he's revered and whatnot. Because this energy moved him into being fast, all right? So he was quickly moved into this role. And, it does have some witchy witchy and uncomfortable vibrations around this. And it looks as though maybe he'd been practicing or knew about these things over a long period of time, because that Queen of Rods, things manifest over a long period of time, even though they moved him in quick. So makes me wonder if he was raised in the industry or whatever. But we're going to pull some more cards just for the fun of it, just to get more of a story here. So they've started with a story here. Let's see what else they've got to say. Please and thank you. So it looks like right now, it looks like there's a lot about this guy that nobody knows. It's looking like he knew some things. It looks like he may have been put into this role. There will be things that come out around him, but it looks like there's two sides to this character. Okay, so let's delve deeper and get more of a story and see if he really was holding that balance between the two, or if, you know, he was what it's looking like he could be. Let's see. Please and thank you. More story. Please and thank you. More true story. Please and thank you. One more. I know the cards make a lot of noise on the table. It is what it is. It's a home production. Plus the way I shuffle, because I've got little stumpy hands, short fingers. So I don't shuffle like a lot of people do. All right, let's see. More story. Celebrating the healing. Moving forward. Finding out this guy gave it straight and knew a lot of things. Let me move this up so that I can move the other ones. I'm just going to need a little bit more space. So, Mr. Rogers. Okay. Looks like there's a lot of like celebrating around him. So there was a lot of celebrations, good feelings, right? It also looks like there was a lot of healing around him. A lot of healing around him. This is also a very feminine card, so let's see what we get as we move forward. But yeah, a lot of healing around him, a lot of celebration around him. He was birthed. It was something different. They birthed something new when they brought this character on the scene by the looks of things. So moving forward, what you're going to find out was that he was actually a pretty straight shooter with that Queen of Swords. Pretty straight shooter. There's a lot of stuff that he knew. And a lot of stuff that he knew. Had a lot of tools with this. This can be very tricky. Very tricky. And, you know, there's like a still point, like he was stilled, you guys. So right now what we're getting is that there were kind of two sides to him. There will be stuff that comes out around him. He was sort of moved in fast. And he was moved in fast, but that character was manifested, or the thought of that character was manifested over a long period of time. So there's an energy, like he was looking like a guide, like that person that wanted families to do well, like that caring big brother or that caring neighbor. And there was a lot of celebration around this, because this was like birthing something new, right? So a type of character that you hadn't seen before. And then so moving forward, you know, we've got these two very feminine cards, okay? So we're going to get more of a story here. But moving forward, you know, he came out looking like that straight shooter, like somebody who had integrity. She holds her sword straight and kind of tells it like it is. Looks like he had integrity. But then with the magician, although this is like a world stage media, I'm the magician, I'm an actor, and he was. with that Magician, there's a lot of illusion here. So there's a lot of illusion around this particular person, okay? So lots of illusion. Not everything was as it seemed, like what we're getting with this High Priestess. So then we come down and we've got this Two of Swords. And again, we're getting a lot of energy, a lot of feminine energy here. I mean, a lot of feminine energy, you guys. So represented as the High Priestess, and then you've got the Queen of Wands, all right? And then you've got the Empress, and then you've got the Queen of Swords. So there's a lot of feminine energy here. The Great Illusionist. I'm going to say, not that it matters, but I'm going to say, along with this, like there's two sides to him, holding the balance between the two sides and all of this feminine energy and a lot of illusion here. I'm going to say the man was probably gay. So before I get more of a story, I'm going to ask that. I'm going to ask if he was gay. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. He always seemed very feminine to me. It wasn't a show that I watched as a child. I grew up in the day where he was outside playing. We didn't in the country we were playing or doing chores. Looky doke. It's all right, buddy. Yeah, so I didn't watch as a kid. Was he even on? I think he was on when I was a kid. I'm not that old. I don't think. If he wasn't on when I was a kid, he came on shortly after or whatever. But it's not something I watched. So let's see. I just want to know the truth. It looks like you're alluding to the fact that this man was gay. And that would have been a time where that would have been hidden anyway, right? So, so are you alluding to the fact that this guy was gay? Please and thank you. Hold on. There's more to it. So the other piece of that would be, well, I'll let you just tell the little story, because the other piece of that would be like, I hate even going down this rabbit hole, because I hate everybody saying everybody's the opposite sex of what they are, even though I know that that does happen. But the other piece of that would be that he possibly started out as someone who was a girl, or meant to be a girl, and then transitioned into a boy, or born as a hermaphrodite, and they just chose the sex. But we'll let them tell a story here. I'm just deducing what I'm seeing in the card. So hold on. Yes, there's some truth in what I'm saying. Yes, he was gay, but there's more to that with that 4. There was something that ended for him as a child. Can you guys see that? The family ended for him as a child. Looks like some imbalance going on there. 2 ending cards. They brought him in and replaced him. So we're going down the woo rabbit hole, right? All right, so let me move this stuff out of the way. So what I'm getting is, hold on, there's more to that story than just the fact that this man was gay. And again, this is just what I'm getting. This is humble opinions, and use your own discernment. And this is for entertainment purposes only, right? So hold on. Yes, he was gay. But something ended for this man as a child. Something ended for him as a child. Something ended like the family chose it. It was the family's choice to end this. There was like an imbalance going on. And so something new was brought in. So I'm going to pull these all up. You remember what this all said. And I'm going to go on to ask, you know, was he born the opposite sex? I'm just going to shuffle these all in. Because if he was born the opposite sex and then they changed him, then he wouldn't truly be genuinely a gay man, would he? He would have truly been a heterosexual woman. So that's why they were saying, hold on, I think. So that's what I'm asking. So was this person that we're speaking of right now, was he born and was truly a feminine body and energy, and then the family chose to end that and change him, bring in something new? So was this poor guy transgendered as a child? Two sides to him, right? So let's see, was this person that we're speaking of, was he transgendered as a child? Because it looks like they ended something for him. As a child, the family decided to do that. So is that the deal with him? With the person that we call him? The person that we're speaking of right now? Could you tell me? Whoops. Could you tell me, please, and thank you? The things you find out, the things you don't think you're going to find out when you sit down to do a reading, and how it comes upon this story that you weren't counting on, right? Okay, so let's see what they say. Yeah. So he wasn't gay. Not at heart, not by nature, because he was actually born a feminine. So he would have been born a woman physically and energetically. And then that family decided to end that for him and transition him when he was a child. And that's why, he seemed feminine. And that's why he would appear as a gay man. But technically, he just would have been a heterosexual woman. So a lot of illusion around this person because of what had been done to him. A lot of that feminine energy came through, right? So that leads me to my next question. Was this poor guy born into one of these elite families that, you know, I have to be careful with my words, but there are things that people do with their firstborn in order to not have to do something else with them. They will agree to do the transgendering. So it looks as though possibly this guy was born into a family that practiced these kind of nefarious traditions and rituals and behaviors. So is that correct in my assuming that? Please and thank you. Just my heart's racing right now. I feel so bad. My stomach feels sick and I feel so bad. I feel so bad. Like, it's just so sad. This stuff's been going on for so long. It's so sad. They want to talk more about this. Okay, so when you get a card like that, I always know, when I get a card like that, because of the way that I read, I always know that they want to talk a little bit more. So this would be my indication. It's making me feel even more sick, that quite possibly he wasn't even, quite possibly he was taken from his original family, raised in a different family, and this was done to him. So quite possibly he was a kidnapped victim and moved across water. I think we're going to learn a whole hell of a lot more today than I thought going in. I thought it was going to be a simple, basic question. Moved across water, taken to a different family where then they did these things to him. Okay, so let's see what they want to talk about here. Moved to a prominent, he was moved to a prominent family. Ugh, and he went through a lot. Chaos, sadness, money. It was a money family though. Money. Lots of trickery. Lots of chaos. This guy went through a lot of chaos. So it's like this, he was taken, you guys. Ugh. I'm breaking out in a sweat right now. I'm feeling sick to my stomach. So I guess I gotta push these back down so you can see him a little better here. All right, so this poor guy was taken across water to a very powerful person. And bad things happened to them. A lot of chaos, a lot of sadness, a lot of spilled emotions. And you can even look a little deeper into that and see spilled life force energy, right? But there were certain benefits. He had benefits to being placed here. So it's almost like he was given by the other family, and we'll delve into that. Okay, so it looks as though he was probably given willingly more than kidnapped, okay, to these people, because there were benefits. And the benefit was money. So possibly that family that he originally came from earned money doing that, all right? So then as we come down, this person, this very powerful person, was also like a great illusionist and had a role on the world stage. Okay, so somebody that also may have been in TV or a leadership position, but a great illusionist, because the truth about this person is everything in their life was chaos. Everything in their life was chaos. The infighting and literally like beating up on the people around them, which leads me to believe possibly like it's making me kind of sick. It is making me sick. Possibly like, also like beating up on the children that they may have been having bought quite a bit. But for whatever reason, through all of this, it's like they decided they were going to turn the person that we're actually doing the reading on into something to behold. So there was a plan for this person, which would have been probably a lot of grooming and then put into place. So let's clarify now that we've gotten this story. So I want to clarify, it looks to me as though the person who we're reading on, the person that the world would see as Mr. and then Rogers, looks like he was sold by his birth family to someone who had money, clout, and power, but was also very abusive, and that he went through a lot in the care of this person. And it also kind of looks to me like this person had more than one child that they had in their possession. So, are we getting the story right so far? Just with one clarifying card, please, because then I think I had other questions too. So, are we getting the story about this person correct, please and thank you? So far, we've got the story correct. We've gotten quite a story. So right now, it's looking as though his original birth family ended something for him because they decided to sell him to somebody in power, right? It looks as though this person was born a female and then was transitioned, but definitely a female energy. And it looks like this person went through quite a lot. And it looks like he was propped up to have this particular role. So this person went through a lot. Okay? So now that we know that, did I say when I was clarifying that it looks like that he was transgendered? Like they took him from being a girl and turned him into a boy. Took her from being a girl and then physically turned them into being a boy and then raised them to act as though they're a boy. Is that correct? I don't know if I already asked that or not. I thought I did when I clarified, but I might not have, so I'm double checking. Is that correct? We can just with one card, can you clarify, please, and thank you. Yeah, they celebrated the fact that they did that to him, to her, which is why he wasn't technically gay. That's why we had to hold on, because she would have been attracted to men. But she didn't get a chance to be who she was. And you can't change somebody the way they feel inside. You know, you can't change the fact that I'm a heterosexual woman, and it doesn't matter what things you cut off of me and what things you put on me, I'm still going to be a heterosexual woman under whatever mask you throw on me. So that's what happened to him and her. And they felt that they did a very good job with that. They were very happy about that. Celebrations, that made them very happy. So my next question is, was this person, did he go through, you know, the MK Ultra program that a lot of these elites kids go through? Was he MK Ultra? Please and thank you. One card, please. Just one card. Yeah, so that's our yes. So you know what they do to those kids when they MK Ultra them. It's not good. So nothing about his life was good, you guys. Nothing about his life was good. Not what you and I would consider a good life. Not what we would provide for our children. Not what we would consider a good life. So now that you've explained this story, and I don't blame you for wanting to get the story in its entirety out, so that people don't just look at this person as, so that you understand that there's compassion to be had, I think, you know, so that we understand that there's compassion to be had. So we don't lose our sight of that, you know, compassion and love. So can you tell me, were they able to turn him into what I would call a monster? So, you know, did he participate willingly in their dark rituals? And okay, so I realized that he was MK altered, and that has a whole level of like, anything after that is usually, it's, in my opinion, everything after that, he's not a willing, or she was not a willing participant, because she'd been MK altered and broken and built into what they wanted. But I guess what I'm asking is, I know that a lot of these MK Ultra victims, the programming isn't necessarily ideal, and they do have a conscience, and they do feel bad, and when they participate, it's because they have to, they're forced to. But inside, this is not something that they would do if they were not forced into doing it. And that's what I would like to know with him, was some of them, they've had that programming, they've been raised that way, and then they take pleasure in it. And but some of them, that programming didn't exactly work ideally. And so that's what I'm wanting to know with him. Was he well programmed? And did he do nefarious things with pleasure? Did he do nefarious things with pleasure? Please and thank you. I think I've made that question very clear. Oh, cards are sticking. Queen of Swords, he would have come out straightforward, straight shooter. So he did what he did. And moved with it in a very let's do this kind of manner. And I would assume that that's because of the MK Ultra program, that he was just well programmed. Is that, and again, see that Queen of Swords, it's like the universe doesn't want us to say him. So I'm going to start saying her, because that's what that person actually was, according to what I'm getting. So just to clarify, so it looks like the MK Ultra programming that took place with her worked very well, and was a success. Is that a correct statement? Please and thank you. One card. Yeah. The MK Ultra program that this woman went through was successful in every way, shape, and form. They took this child, they paid for this child, they brought this child across water, they then put this child through hell, they transgendered this child, they MK Ultra'd this child, and then they had this child performing nefarious deeds and rituals, and then they quickly moved this person into a place of looking one way while being another, and they would consider themselves quite happy with what they had created. So that's what I'm getting, you guys. So that's just a really sad story. And this is why we need to save our children. This is why we need to save our children. Because they're kidnapping them, and they're buying them, and the things that they're doing to all of them, whether they allow them to live and grow up or not, are horrific. And this is why we need to become aware. This has been going on for a long time, and it's been going on all around us. It's been going on underneath our feet, and it's been going on by people that people vote into power and worship and adore and send, all of this energy to. And these people are monsters. I'll never forget when my guide showed me what these people actually were. I mean, they literally turned them into a monstrous form so that I would know that they really are monsters. Exactly like I would always say, these people are monsters. They showed me that they truly are. In more ways than we know. In more ways than we even think about often. So this is why we need to be aware. And this is why we need to stand up. And this is why we need to make our voices heard and say no to this bullshit. This is why we need to save our kids. So, sad reading for me. That's a sad reading. Way more information than I thought we would get during that. So now, thank you very much for the information. Now, as we close out, can you leave us a card that would benefit us to focus on moving forward? I don't know how long this reading is. I need new bifocals. I need new glasses, and I need a new prescription all the way around. I need my bifocals upgraded and my regular vision upgraded. So now that you've given us all that information, thank you very much. Could you leave us with a card that we could focus on today as we close this reading out? Please and thank you. What can we benefit to focus on? What would be good advice for us to focus on as we move forward here and close this reading out? Well, they're giving us the, be careful with your words, be careful with your thoughts, be strategic with how you operate, pay attention to what it is that you support. This person's run in and he's grabbed particular information, particular technology, and he's left some behind, right? So he was strategic in what he took. So, that's what we have to do moving forward. We have to be very strategic. We have to really be very logical. We have to assess situations and not jump to conclusions, not jump into an emotional state, but be very logical and pick and choose the information that we desire to believe, and be very careful with that, and be very discerning with that, and also be very careful and discerning with the words that we use or the thoughts that we have. And I think that we were just taught a really good lesson just in this question, this line of questioning. We don't know all the story. We don't know the story behind a lot of this stuff. And we don't know people's stories. We don't know what they've been through. We don't know the true story. We don't know the whole story. So we might want to be very strategic with our words and our thoughts and our judgments. What we do and don't believe about people. Just because you hear someone's bad doesn't mean that they are. Just because you hear someone's good doesn't mean that they are. There's a lot that we don't know. There's a lot of story that we don't know. So discernment, right? Be real choosy. Be real picky. Anyway, you guys, that's just what I'm getting. Again, I'm just going to reiterate, this is opinions. This is for entertainment. This reading is not meant to harm or hurt anybody in any way. Take from it what you will, and toss the rest. That's what we do here, right? All right, you guys. So until next time, I'm sending you a ton of love, tons and tons of love, and lots of healing, and good judgment and logic and discernment and compassion. I don't know what this reading did to you, but it has overwhelmed me with compassion. So, yeah, lots of compassion, you guys, because we just don't know the truth about these people's lives. We don't. So, I've been guilty of it too, saying things, out of anger and disgust, and I'm going to be really careful with my words and my thoughts. We just don't know people's stories. So I'm not saying we have space to share space with people that have been that broken. It's not what I'm saying. But I think we can all hold space in our hearts with love and compassion. We can do that. All right, you guys. So until next time, much, much love and many, many blessings to all of you from me. All right. I will see you soonish. Love you. Bye.